Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.
G'day there, the forecasts were right, weren't they? The sales of electrified cars was bad in March. They said it would be after they were bad in January, then bad in February. The next question, will they be bad in April and indeed for the rest of the year? Very good piece by the Financial Times, reprinted in the Herald this week with the headline, "The big worry for car makers, what if the EV slowdown is not a blip?" Well, I can answer that. It isn't. As in a blip. If you want to give me any credit at all, I have been saying this, you'll be aware, for several years now. All this is going to end badly for car makers who rightly or wrongly responded to legislative heft, mainly from the European Union's policy wonks who are determined to make enough rules around petrol engines to basically drive them out of business. Now, there are two things going on locally at the moment. One, sales generally are down because that's what happens when you have a double-dip recession. But two, a specific slowdown in electric-type cars. It's important to remember, by the way, EVs are not all EVs, and most coverage doesn't differentiate, I suspect, because most people who do the covering don't actually understand the differences. So you've got three sorts of cars, right? You've got your hybrid, you've got your plug-in hybrid, often called a PHEV, and you've got your full battery electric or a BEV. Now, the BEV and the PHEVs, they're the ones that are in trouble at the moment. Next problem is all the acolytes who now claim that the RUC rules, the road user charge changes, have damaged the market. I can assure you that's bollocks. They haven't. A couple of $100 a year, for goodness sake, is not going to scuttle an entire car market. The previous government subsidies, making PHEVs and BEVs cheaper, that has had an impact. But my bet is this. That was a false economy, given there was always a small early adapter sort of group, a greenie type group who were keen no matter what. Basically, the taxpayer just made it cheaper for them. Once you soak those people up, the real world was always going to arrive, and arrive it has. My best advice to the acolytes is flag it. Stop looking for excuses. EVs for most people are 1, too expensive, 2, have range anxiety issues, and 3, are a pain to charge outside your garage, 4, Lord knows what the second-hand market's going to end up doing. Until all that changes, and that's the really big question, will it ever? And if it does ever, when? Until that changes, the hype machine that's driven the story to this point is over.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.